Hello. So driving out to Skerries, it seems like the only reason we go to Skerries is to rescue gulls that are tangled up in razor wire or chicken wire, whatever. So the finder has been pretty difficult to get a hold of. The neighbour across the road had called in the case, and we're going to try and get up on the roof and get the gull. Peter's coming out to help, and I suppose the main worry right now is that it's starting to rain. And when it gets rainy, we get slippy roofs, slippy tiles, slippy ladders. So that's a problem. So cross your fingers and cross your toes that we can still do what we need to do to help this poor gull.
So I got out, and using my new backpack that has a box in it for birds, I climbed up the ladder, my trusty ladder, up onto the side there beside the chimney, and then I used my net here to control the bird for two reasons. Number one, I don't want the bird to be released and then fly away half injured or with constriction injuries, and also I don't want it flapping around while I'm trying to cut it away, making itself more entangled and more injured. Bird played ball, but the weather didn't. Rain came in, but we were already down and Peter was there to help. Transferred the bird over to Peter's carrier and he drove it out to Lisa's. Lisa gave it a full assessment and it was in really good condition. It was walking around her orphan room and looked really good, really strong, really feisty, but it still needed the 72 hours of observation because these constriction injuries can be very complicated. A couple of days later, we got a call about this moorhen tangled up in branches hanging upside down. So Alexandra and I went down to Corbally Harbour in County Kildare. We met up on Friday night. It was dark when we got there, and Alexandra had already been there with Peter, so she took me all the way down along this towpath to the abandoned bridge and she showed me exactly where the moorhen was. Would have been hard to spot in the middle of the night. I managed to get onto the far side of the bank. It was a really difficult rescue, and Alexandra had to come over and use the swan hook to pull the branch over. When we pulled in the moorhen, it was totally entangled in, of course, discarded fishing line. So we took it to KWR for assessment.
Hey gang, so I was just teaching wildlife rescue level 1, and on the break there, Neve took a call from My Lovely Horse Rescue, the absolute legends that they are. 200 volunteers are nearby trying to cut a pony loose from barbed wire. Its hind legs are wrapped in barbed wire. So I'm on my way there to meet them, going to hopefully help them or give them the tools that they need, and I can just stand well back. I'm not a horse guy. So hopefully they'll do exactly what needs to be done, and then I'm going to zoom back and teach rescue level 2. Wish us luck, wish this poor pony luck. Jeez. So here's Ellie and Laura from My Lovely Horse Rescue, and I just gave them the bolt cutters. They really know what they're doing. They're so confident and capable with the horses. They know exactly what the horses are doing all the time, and so she's just chopping away all that barbed wire. You stay away. Yeah, super work.
Well, she only has kind of phrases on her legs here, so thankfully someone reported it really quickly because if it was left any longer,
It'd shred its legs, wouldn't it?
really shredded, really lethal. She could hardly move around again. If she lay down, she probably wouldn't have got up.
Yeah.
So she's fine there now for the moment.
Super. Okay, let's get rid of all this barbed wire. There she is now, just taking care of herself. After that, look at this. Look, here she is, rolling around. Well, it seems like another day, another constriction injury. That poor pony, as you can see, had barbed wire wrapped around its legs. Last night was a moorhen with fishing line wrapped around its legs. Wednesday was a gull with fishing line wrapped around its leg and then caught in barbed wire. The fact is, littering, reckless use of barbed wire, razor wire, people throwing fishing line around the place, it's a huge scourge on wildlife. It should be a prosecutable crime. That's the answer. Why would it not be? Anybody decent and responsible will clean up after themselves and anybody who isn't is committing a wildlife crime. So let's start prosecuting those people. Rant just beginning. Anyway, chat to you later. Back to teach.
So after teaching level 2, we got called back up to help seize a different horse, and my bolt cutters came in handy again. And it was so great to finally get to work with my lovely horse rescue. They're an incredible rescue, so organised, so hardworking, and they took this poor horse straight up to UCD vets for assessment. Really happy to join in and help out. Now remember our gull that was tangled up in barbed wire on the roof? Well, a few days later I got to go back over to Lisa's to collect this gull. It was in brilliant condition. Once I got it out of the carrier there in the release location, it flapped its wings a few times. It had to walk around. It heard its local gull friends squawking quite loudly, and after I had a good look around, it prepared to fly off. Now when we do releases, we choose sites that have plenty of space, where are near to where the animal originally came from, free of hazards like dogs and traffic and stuff. So I stayed there, and you give it as much time as you need to fly off, and then off it went. And the finder's family, the mother and the 2 daughters there, they really had a magical experience getting to see the bird that they cared about so much fly off.
Find out where he is. Look, and he's gone straight back over.
Yep.
No, look, he's gone.
Bye-bye, birdie.
So remember our moorhen that was tangled in all of this fishing line? Here are photos from the assessment. Tangled in a branch, tangled with fishing hook, fishing line, injuries to its wings, injuries to its legs. I was certain that this was going to be taken straight to KWR and that they would put it right to sleep. But the team at KWR, the vet team, and Dan have really taken this moorhen under their wing, and they've given it the best chance that it can have to survive. And you know, some birds are incredibly tough and resilient. Gulls spring to mind all the time. I never thought this moorhen would be so resilient and so tough. And here it is, taking its first couple of steps. And we'll see now over the next few weeks if it can really regain all that strength and be released back into the wild. That's what KWR is all about.
So while I have yous, I'm just going to ask you to support the Patreon. All the rescue work that we see costs loads of money. We need to buy carriers and gloves. That's not even to mention renting the premises and everything that goes into all these rescues. Also, the videos that you're seeing of me doing rescue, that's the tip of the iceberg. There's so many volunteers, so many people helping out, and yeah, please support them and support the work that Kildare Wildlife do by joining the Patreon if you're not already, and follow us on Instagram for all that kind of stuff. Yeah, it really helps. Anything that you can do to support the work that we're doing is going to help wildlife in Ireland.